Nigerian film producer Ayo Shonaiya, in an interview with HipTv, shares his satisfaction towards the growth of Afrobeats in Nigeria, stating that Afrobeats is growing internationally and he's excited about the development.
First of all, I have to say I'm very, very happy with the progression of the Afrobeats movement, the culture, the music, the sound, everything about Afrobeats. I'm extremely, extremely happy that we've gotten to this point in about 20 years, because the way I look at it, the Afrobeats sound kind of like started around like 1999, and that's like coming off the Junior and Pretty years, going into the Remedies, Tribesmen and Plantation Boys. And it's just been like 20 years from like 99 to about 2019 and 2020. So in 20 years, we're already winning Grammys with this new genre. So I'm very, very happy. The future's bright. Not only because the music is making headway internationally. You know, it's not about internationally. We're very good in our space in Nigeria or Ghana or Africa. But internationally, because the world is now enjoying what we've been enjoying for many, many years. And, like I said, yeah, the future is very bright.
Speaking on artist management and branding in the music industry, Ayo Shonaiya had this to say.
Well, when you talk about branding, the branding is up to us, as in up to people who are not, how should I put it, who are not the music makers. The music makers will make the product. It's now up to us now to sell it. That's how I see branding, you understand? So we have to project it right, we have to position it right. It's not something that, we want to do that it's now become, it will come and go, you understand? The branding itself is still up to us. The music makers, like I'm not a musician, I'm not a producer, but if I get the product, I know how to sell it, I know how to position it, I know how to brand it. It is now up to us to brand ourselves well, you understand? So it's not about, competing against each other, because music industry is a competition anyway. So it's not about competing against ourselves. It's about being one and then competing competing, with the world.
Speaking on his new project, Ayo Shonaiya shares that he's been working on this project for 20 years and the project is aimed to educate people on the growth of Afrobeats. He also added that this has been the project that he's been passionate about, in his own words.
Why I'm doing this is education. It's documenting history and then presenting what you've collated from your research, from your experience, from your archives, from your work, and that's what I'm doing. I just want to present Afrobeats, the backstory, so that people know where we came from. When you listen to people talk about Afrobeats and they pick it up from Wizkid, you understand? Wizkid a great job in putting our music out there, but some people actually believe that Afrobeat started with Wizkid, which it didn't. There's even people before Wizkid and people, there's D'banj, you understand? And then even before D'banj, you have people like JJC, you have people like, so right up to like Daddy Shoki, right up to Remedies, Tribesmen, Plantation Boys, Two-Face, all these people, you understand? They must know about the lineage, what got us here. And that's the reason why I'm making the document. But then again, when I came into music in 1999, I'm a filmmaker and I'm a lawyer, but when I came into music in 1999, I just decided to start filming everything. That one day, or maybe when I hit 50 years old, I'll put it out as part of my story. And pretty much that's what I'm doing. I'm putting it out as part of my story and my work in the music industry, which happens to run parallel with the development of Afrobeat. So everything kind of like, came in at the same time. So that's the reason. This documentary, I've been pre-producing this documentary for 20 years. I've been filming for it for 20 years. Everybody I've worked with in the music industry, I've filmed everybody.
When asked what his biggest challenge was while creating his new project, the ace filmmaker said this.
The biggest challenge of any project, not to talk of project of this size, is funding. Straight up funding. I had the tools, you understand? Like I said, I'm a filmmaker. I had cameras, I have stuff like that, and I had the footage over 20 years, like that I can put as, I have footage of pretty much everybody. I did get support from, other, places like Boomplay and Techno, who actually want to support the industry as well. Not just about their streaming service, but it's not just about streaming and everything. They support the industry as well. So when I took the project to them, they loved it, the way I sold it to them, they loved it, and they said, oh, we would like to be a part of this.
He further went on to disclose that the premiere of Afrobeats The Backstory will hold at IMAX Cinema on the 2nd of April. He also added that the complete documentary will not be shown, but a smaller part of it will be shown to thrill the guest.
One of the hardest things for me is the decision about which archive should I put into the documentary and which one can I leave out. And I'm talking about for editorial, for narrative, for everything. I have about 300 hours of footage that I could use for this documentary, because I used to work in Fuji Music as well. I was Wasiu's manager for 5 years. So this is not about Fuji, it's about Afrobeats. So that one was the first 5 years I can't use that. I used a couple. But you see the Afrobeats one, like when I started with them Tribesmen, the Tribe, you know, when behind the scenes, when we were directing videos, Plenty Nonsense, Oya, Thief, Ole, Carry and Go, when we were directing Tungolo, when we were directing Tungolo Remix in London and everything, a lot of stuff. And then also, not just at work, I used to record at play as well. So I have footages on all the artists that I've worked with, like at play and everything. And there's some that I wouldn't put out because it would not paint them in a good picture, if you know what I mean. But I would say I used about maybe 30% to 35% of the footages that I have. The rest, trust me, I cannot put it out. I can just watch it, and between people that are coded and people that we know ourselves, or even with them themselves, we can sit down, drink, and watch that one. That one is the back story, not the backstory. So that was a challenge for me as well. But I mean, the archives that I used in the documentary, you would love them.